All right, so we're back in action here. I wanted to talk about what I've been doing. I know it's been like a little while since I've like really made any kind of real YouTube video about like actually like modding Skyrim and stuff. I've actually been pretty busy. I've been dedicating myself to perfecting the heavily modified Ascensio that I've been working on for the past. I don't even know how long it's been. I mean, I've had so many instances of me working on this that I don't even know for sure how many it's been. If you look over here, this is where I started working with Ascensio. You could see all the way back to looks like May of 2020, or actually, yeah, April of 2023. So I've been working with this list for a very long time now. I've had a lot of different iterations of it with like varying degrees of success. Obviously, um, it's all subjective, but I personally feel like this iteration is the most successful one, and I'll get into why very soon. So looking at here, we have this is what I've effectively been working on is contained all in this document right here. So for the someone who doesn't really know a lot about this stuff, this is a pretty comprehensive list of all the MCO movesets that I have in my game right now. So we're using the stance system, which is something that Novus uses. I'm not sure if Vagabond uses it. It probably does use it. But effectively what it is you have, normally if you're using attack, MCO, or Distar Experience, you have a set of animations per weapon. So like if you have a great sword, you could download a great sword moveset on the Nexus or elsewhere, and you'll have a couple normal attacks and a couple power attacks. So it's kind of like Elden Ring or like Dark Souls. So you have like different weapons with different movesets. But the great thing about stances is that it allows you to have multiple sets per weapon. So as you can see here, I've been filling it up like crazy over the past few days. For unarmed, I have 4 unarmed movesets. I have 4 for pike and halberd. Some of them have been easier to find, some not so much. You can see a lot of blank entries here for certain ones like spear and shield, spear and spear, or javelin and shield. I'm not going to find too many movesets that do that, or if I do, I'm going to have to get really creative and find movesets for other weapons and then assign them for these. But effectively today, what I'm going to be doing is going into the game and testing everything out to make sure that it's all working properly together. Because what I've been doing is, let me just pull this document back over here and open up one of these. So I'm just going to open one of these up at random. So For Honor Warden Low Stance. If you go into the custom conditions, these priority folders are extremely important. If I want to add a mid stance or a high stance, I was basically just copying this folder name, and I would say do 200, 200, 300, or 200, 400, or something along those lines. Just not anything drastic, just a simple higher priority than the current ones. And now obviously low stance is what it's the way I'm doing this priority is the standard moveset, the neutral moveset gets the lowest priority, whereas the high stance gets the highest priority in game. And obviously there's a lot to do with editing the this document right here, and adding the perk to make sure that it all works properly. I've gained a new respect for the creator of Novus. I personally feel that Novus is a bit unstable, a bit bloated. I've had crashing and freezing issues with it a lot, despite having an overabundance of RAM on my computer. However, that being said, I do think that there is a certain art to being able to manage all your movesets and all your locomotion files, like a smooth moveset, like, which is for just like how you grip your weapon, how your character is standing while wielding a weapon, that kind of stuff. Now, obviously, I'm using smooth moveset for this list. If you go into modern combat animation, you can see these are the locomotion files that I have. Stuff like sprinting and stuff. Asensio already comes with stuff like that, but I've kind of been very selective with what goes into my game. I've disabled some stuff because I prefer what I'm putting into it. So it's all personal preference at the end of the day. But I'm going to be going into the game right now, and I'm going to be testing a lot of these movesets as I see fit. So let's, without further ado, let's actually jump into the game so I can show everyone what I've been doing and how it looks in-game with a fairly decent character. This character has, they're how do I describe it? Mostly, they're like very low. They're low to mid level. They're not very far into the. Actually, I haven't really had much time to really play the game. As ironic as that sounds, I've mostly just been in and out of loading screens, testing stuff, making sure that it works in game, and then going back to the testing or modding, as it were, rather than like, you know, doing a quest or playing with his stuff. I haven't actually been doing any of that. I haven't actually played Skyrim, even though I've been playing it. It's very complicated. It's not it is super complicated. I think I've turned off music because I don't want copyright on this video, but let's wait for this to finish loading, and then once we're in game, I'll be able to go over the mod lists one by one and test them out. It's going to be a very involved and kind of probably long process, but I just wanted to make absolutely 100% certain that everything is working in-game properly and that there's no issues to be found. So here is our character. Let me go into here and lower the master volume a little bit so that my voice doesn't get drowned out. And then we're going to be going right to the unarmed arena so I can do all the testing right here. This is where we're going to be doing all the testing, and I should probably dress into something that's a little less slutty. Just for YouTube standards in case anything gets revealed. So I'm going to be choosing the Witch Slayer outfit. Cool. Yeah, this one is fairly concealing, at least as far as these types of armors typically go. Let me switch to my Excel document here so I can see it on screen while I'm recording. And then go back into the game. I do believe this should be keeping to. Yep, that works. Okay. It makes me a little uneasy not to be able to see the OBS, but that's whatever. Okay, so let's start off. It looks like the first thing we're going to be testing is swords. So the first thing I'm going to do in game is I'm going to do player dot mod AV carry weight. We'll do 5,000. So now we should have 5,000 carrying weight, so that anything that we're holding will be. Let's see. Let me just drop all this stuff way the fuck over here. Alright, cool. So let's go back over here and we will test out the sword first. So sword animations, I'm going to be opening up D menu so I can spawn in a sword. Skyrim is already selected here, so I can just, yep. And then we're going to be doing Ebony Sword, and I'm going to summon about 2 of them. So let's go into our menu here. Let me save one more time. And we will be choosing the neutral stance. So let's take a look at our neutral stance, which is For Honor and Skyrim Centurion. So these are the animations that I have gotten relatively used to. Obviously, they have different, depending on Dtry's key utils, there's a lot of different ways I could be using these. But these are the standard animations. So let's move on so that we can get through this relatively quickly to Nordic Combat Sword, which is our low stance. Let's see if there's anything there. Alright, so this is the low stance. Neat. I understand there's usually some kind of... you're supposed to like put slow animations and fast animations like before each other, but I've honestly just been using the stances like as a I haven't really been like, okay, so let's do mid stance. So this is East Skyrim Sword, and East Skyrim does very fancy movesets. I've seen a lot of their works. I mean, this is wonderful. I mean, look at these beautiful animations. I will be referring to all the animations as beautiful, of course, because I've gotten in trouble on YouTube before for being critical of certain animations. But I won't get into that. So this is it. This is all I have for swords, surprisingly. I don't actually have a high stance, although I am looking for a high stance. I will probably find one eventually, and then we will have 4 movesets. Let's move on to sword and sword. So this is our, let's do our neutral stance for sword and sword. This is our neutral stance. It's a little bit flashy. This is Naraka Blade Point DW. That's what it's called. As you can see, it is extremely flashy and very powerful. I tested this on enemies and they go down very quickly. That is, I mean, look at this. This is it looks insane. It's like it's crazy. It is wild. Let's move on to Nordic Combat Dual Wield for our low stance. So this is a little bit more controlled. It's not as flashy. It's probably, you know, it's an animation I'd want to see enemies use rather than the crazy one from before. Just for no other reason than I don't want to die immediately every time I go into combat. And lastly, we have Wolong Dual Wield, I believe by Black. I think Black did these. Another very talented mod author and animator. A lot of these are Patreon only, of course, like the anchor animations that I will be showing later. A lot of these are Patreon only, unfortunately, but I mean, they're kind of worth it. It's not a lot of money. You just fork over a little bit of cash and you get awesome animations. I mean, I'm using frame generation right now, and it's not really needed in this room because this is a fairly not impressive cell. I mean, the cell is impressive, but like the as far as like performance goes, this is probably the most optimized cell in the game, just because of how many frames we're getting. Most cells are pretty optimized, although they can become unoptimized when there's a lot of objects in them. This one has like not a lot of objects, so So that was Wolong Dual Wield. We are finally finished with dual wielding weapons now. So, well, dual wielding swords, that is. We can move on to sword and dagger, which is really interesting combination. I haven't seen too much of this. Let's see, dual wield dagger. So let's do let's spawn in a dagger. I do believe it's dagger left hand. Is it? It might be. I'm not 100% sure about that. I think this is it. This is For Honor and Skyrim Peacekeeper. Let me just try it the other way around. Yeah, I'm not. No, actually, this is okay. This is not the animation because this is the animation for just dagger. It's this. I wanted this video to be more structured, but we'll get to that when we get to that, because I want to explain that, because that one actually did vex me quite a bit, and I had a lot of trouble finding that moveset, because, like, narrowing it down, even though theoretically I should be able to see it in here, but, like, most of the animations, most of the movesets I have are not with open animation. They are with the legacy dynamic animation replacer, which is actually, I find it easier to work with personally, but that's just me. So this is Peacekeeper. This is sword and dagger, which is a very interesting moveset, because it's something that I never would have considered using in-game, two different weapons. You very rarely see that. Next thing I'm going to be doing is sword and shield. So let's spawn in a ebony shield. Ebony shield heavy, that works. So let me unequip this and just do sword and shield, and we will do our neutral stance. So starting off, we have For Honor and Skyrim Warlord. So this is our animation here. So we have a couple, I do believe, sword bashes. Yeah, I mean shield bashes. So yeah, this is what it looks like. It's a very beautiful moveset. It's like slowish. It's like yeah, it's a little. I wish some of the animations were more consistent. Like like my ordering. I wish my ordering was a little bit more consistent. I was kind of not really thinking too much when I added these, so some of my neutral stances are really fast and some are really slow. It's not ideal, but I'll probably fix this in time. I kind of want to get into this a little bit, because I wanted. Okay, do I still have the file here? I do. Okay, so I effectively wanted to do the same thing that I did that Arisen did for the animations. So I created this little zip file here that basically had everything sorted just like this, so I could keep better track of everything and make sure that it worked in-game. But when I went to test it out, I found that there was a lot of issues. Probably because certain movesets needed to be prioritized above others. And rather than keeping that, I'm staying with what I'm using now, which is keeping everything separate in separate folders with pretty random priority folder names. Which it has worked for me. I will say that. It has worked for me. I'm not 100% pleased with it, but it's working currently as far as my testing goes. We're not nearly finished testing, so I'll probably see the errors of my labor very soon. So this is the first. This is neutral stance. Let's go into low stance. We're going to be moving into Dragon's Dogma Fighter, which I actually did this morning. So this is a sword and shield moveset. Let's see, there's a... It's pretty interesting. Yeah, I've never seen this one in... I haven't seen this one in... I do like that, though. That kind of attack is very interesting. So yeah, that was that. Let's see. The final one we have is a little bit flashy. We have Anchor. So Anchor Animations is a very talented mod author on Patreon who creates pretty crazy animations. So let's do mid stance and check out some of these. So as you can see, there's already. I mean, these are wonderful. I try not to judge too much, but I mean, look at this. I mean, look at, honestly, it's like, it's super flashy. It's super. I mean, how do I even describe something like this? I mean, it's probably a little bit overpowered. I don't know why my screen keeps flashing. Let me just. I don't know if that effect's gonna go away. I might have to reload a save. But I mean, this is nuts. So what is this? What is this effect that's going on here? Formation fire. Oh, I see. Interesting. Huh. So that's what this is right now. That's pretty interesting. Does it go away if I unequip my stuff? Okay, I'm gonna have to load a save then. All right. But that was a. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. This save game is corrupt. Oh my god, this is so. Wow. Okay. I love that this had to happen while I was recording. That is amazing. Oh my god. You cannot be serious. I have to force close. See, this is what I love about it. I have to okay, by the way, yeah, okay. So this happens from time to time. I just love the fact that it had to happen while I was recording, which means I have to repeat a whole lot of stuff in order to get back to that state there. That is such fortuitous timing there. Occasionally, while I'm in the game, I will make a save, and then the game will fail to create a. When you create a save with SKSE, it creates two files, and sometimes when you create a manual save, it will fail to create the second file, and that means that when you try to then load that save, the save game will become corrupt. I've had this happen a few times. This save it might be a little bit broken because I've been adding and removing mods, so I don't think this necessarily reflects on the list that I put together because of the kind of strenuous nature of my adding and removing and stuff like that, and also updating. I've been adding, removing, and updating mods as I go. So this save has seen a lot of additions and whatnot. So this doesn't really surprise me. It's annoying, but it doesn't surprise me. And thankfully, it doesn't happen too often. There's a mod that actually checks if your saves are corrupt or not, but the mod is, unfortunately, right now, it's not really being actively worked on, and it's kind of buggy and broken, and it just doesn't work, unfortunately. So let me go through this process again of changing into our Witch Slayer outfit, and then going to the unnamed arena, and then modifying our carrying weight here, and deselecting these items, and then tossing them aside. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to make two saves here, just because. So, let's get back into it. Where were we? We just finished up Sword and Shield. Let's do Dagger, right? So this is one that I had actually. I had a little bit of trouble with this this moveset here. Let's see, Dagger, and let's do Ebony Daggers. Let's spawn two of them into the game here. We're only going to be doing one at the moment, so this moveset I had a bit of trouble finding. I actually don't know who made it because I assume it was Distar, because when I installed MCO Distar Experience, I failed to realize that it had actually installed about 10 different movesets. I thought that because I didn't choose any, it wouldn't install any, but I was clearly wrong, because this is a one-handed dagger moveset that was installed with pretty much without my knowing, and it took me a while to narrow it down and find it, but here it is. And I decided to keep it because I do actually like it. This is a pretty decent moveset. I don't know if it's patched for Scar. I think it might be, but yeah. So this is the one I have. Now let's switch into low stance so I can show off the other dagger moveset that I've installed, which I've called. This is called Tobirama in Naruto Dagger. So this one is a bit flashy, but I like flashy, so it's yeah. So yeah, this one's a bit flashy. So we got some kicks there, we got some jabs, we got some swings. Yeah, it's very Naruto. Not that I know anything about Naruto. I've actually never seen Naruto. I've seen glimpses of it from time to time, but I actually know absolutely nothing about Naruto. The only thing I know about it is that it's extremely large. I don't think it's as large as One Piece, but it's very large, and I just never acquired the taste for it, so to speak. Let's move on to Dagger and Dagger. So this is, let's do our neutral stance here. So what are we using first? We're using AC, DW, Dagger moveset, MCO. So I think that's Assassin's Creed, yeah, Assassin's Creed DW moveset Dagger. So this is what we have so far, and this is a pretty good moveset. It's, I don't know if there's any, like, special key traces for it. Yeah, it's fairly basic. Let's move on to Nordic Combat Dual Dagger for our low stance. I am doing, I probably should mention this, by the way, because it's not going to show up on screen, but I am doing a mix of normal and power attacks. Yeah, I'm doing a mix of I'm using one-click power attack for controller, so I have a separate key. I have two keys. One of them is for normal attacks and one is for power attacks. This entire list is set up for controller use, actually. And I have, of course, blocking animations for all my weapons as well. And sprint attacks. I should probably have been showing those, but those I just download. Those are the Elvior sprint attacks, which is made for all types of weapons, including spears, halberds, and whatnot. So let's move on. We have war axes. Okay, so we have a couple for those. We have war axe and then dual war axe. So I'm going to be doing war axe. Actually, it's two separate words, isn't it? War axe. Okay, so let's do two of these. So let's just do one to start off with. And we'll go into neutral stance for this. It's AC Valhalla inspired axe moveset. Okay, so this is very similar actually to the dual wielding one, which is AC Valhalla inspired. It's the same. It's basically the same thing. I mean, just because it's the same thing, I'll show it off. It's like, it's very similar to the one-handed version, except for dual wielding. And that is the only dual wielding axe moveset that I have. But they're basically from the same person, so it's the same relative moveset. Yeah. Now, second in War Axe is ER Axe, which I believe ER stands for Elden Ring or Elden Rim or something like that. These are made by Black, I think. So yeah, let's go into this. Let's go into low stance. So this is yeah, ER Axe, which is these should be recognizable to a lot of people. I've seen them in there's a couple moveset packs on the Nexus that are like that like integrate stuff like this. This is a I've kind of been picking and choosing animations and pulling them out of their packs in order to mix and mash the animations as you saw in the Excel document so that I could have only what I wanted. But let's finish it up with mid stance. So for mid stance War Axe we have BDO Guardian, which is a pretty good moveset. It looks like it kind of wants to be dual wielded, but it's not. This is a one-handed moveset that I have, or at least I think it's supposed to be one-handed. Anyways, so yeah. So this one's pretty good. A couple of these movesets were actually intended for Open Animation Replacer, and I had to backport them to Dynamic Animation Replacer. I didn't have to backport them, granted. I could have kept it the same, but like I didn't really want to. It was much easier for me to backport it because everything else that I had been using was for Dynamic Animation Replacer rather than Open Animation Replacer. So yeah. Okay, so that was War Axes. We can actually move on now to Mace. So we don't actually have a Mace dual wielding animation, or at least I don't think we do. Let's do Ebony Mace. We've been doing all ebony weapons from here. So let's do the Mace. So for the first one, for the neutral stance for the Mace, we have Mace Animation MCO, which, yes, that is the name of it. That's not just like my rename. That is the name of the animation on the Nexus. And obviously you can see there's a lot of it has like a hit, I guess. It's very mace-like, I have to say. It's like, it feels like I'm swinging a mace. For the second animation, we have Souls 3 Mace for low stance. And I've seen this one all over the place. I've seen it in Arisen. Actually, that right there, that animation. There's going to be some duplicate animations in this list. Because I mean, there's no way to really get around it. A lot of packs use animations from different weapons. Different mods use the same animations from different creators, I should say. So it's kind of hard to get around that fact. And then, yeah, these are the power and sprint attacks. So let's move on now to Mace and Shield. Do I still have my shield? Nope, I have to spawn it in because my game broke. That's great. Okay, so let's do Ebony Shield Heavy once again. And we'll see if this is working. It should be working, I do believe. So this is For Honor and Skyrim Conqueror. Yeah. Which has a build-up. That's interesting. I hadn't noticed that before. That's really cool. Okay, yeah, some of the For Honor stuff have like build-ups where you can just like charge your attacks, which I like that a lot. So I'm glad to see this is working because I hadn't actually tested this one out. Unfortunately, this is the only Mace and Shield animation that I have. I haven't really searched for more of those yet. So, moving on, now we have Greatsword. So, Greatsword, let me just uncheck this. Greatsword, let's spawn one in. I have 4 sets for the Greatsword. Let's switch to our neutral stance here. And the first one we have coming up is Valhalla Greatsword Animation Polish. Now, this one I actually really like as the neutral stance. This is the animation that I like probably the most for the Greatsword. It's very clean. It just kind of works, you know. It's just, yeah. It just kind of works, you know. It's very. Wait, someone just tried to call me. Oh fuck. I'll have to pause this video for fuck's sake. Okay. Okay, we're back. Just had to take care of some real life stuff. But we're back and we can go back to testing animations to make sure everything is working properly. So we left off on Valhalla Greatsword Animation Polished. But for our low stance, we have For Honor Warden. So this is an animation that I'm mostly familiar with. I've seen it. I actually used to use this as the base animation for the Greatsword before I felt like Valhalla Greatsword was just a little bit better in my opinion. So but I wanted to keep it in the list because I do like the animation. So yeah, so this is as you can see, it has a charge feature, which is, yeah, like I said, pretty prominent in the it's pretty prominent in the For Honor series to see a charge attack. So moving on, we have for mid stance JH Combat Greatsword. So this one is actually something that I stole from Arisen. Arisen, of course, being the list that used to be available to download, like, I'd say about, I don't know, it was a little while ago, but it was replaced by Follow On, which is a non-MCO list. I believe the current successor to Arisen is Vagabond. However, I have not had the chance nor the space to really play Vagabond, nor the system requirements, so I haven't really gotten to test it out and see if it really is a successor to Arisen. But I've been trying to recreate a similar experience with my heavily modified Ascensio, which this list is not very demanding on my system. It looks beautiful, but it's not demanding. So it's pretty big. So a lot of the responsibility kind of falls on my shoulders in order to make all the animations feel right. But at the end of the day, it's my flavor of Skyrim. So this was JH Greatsword. Now for our final stance, which is high stance, we have Anchor Greatsword. So we're seeing another one from Anchor. Let's check this one out. It's probably going to be super flashy, so I'm going to save here just in case anything crazy like that happens. This effect is wild, as you can see. What the heck was that? I don't even know. Look at my character. They look like a demon. What is this? What is this effect? Berserker, apparently. Okay, wow. Look at my character. I look fucking insane. This has a lot of D-try key utils type stuff, so I can, like, yeah, I mean, there's no other way to put it. Yeah. So yeah, this is a pretty awesome move set from Anchor, and I was very happy to slide it into my high stance. But obviously, it's not something that I would use against most enemies because of how kind of unbalanced. I mean, I'd use it if I was like stacked up against like 10 different enemies, or if I had to deal with like a really hard boss, or something along those lines. But but like on average, I would not be using this, no matter how beautiful or just awesome it is. But I like to have it there regardless. So moving on, we are going to be using battle axes now to test out what I've selected for those. So for battle axe, I actually only have 3. I have, starting off with For Honor in Skyrim Gryphon. So we have another For Honor in Skyrim. This one is similar. Actually, this one isn't similar at all. Is it? So yeah, we have the charge attacks there, obviously. You have, like, see that. And we have a couple of... Yeah, that animation I've seen before. Yeah. And then the sprinting attacks for... which are not related to For Honor in Skyrim, because that is the LVR sprint attacks I was showcasing. So yeah, these are pretty good. These are pretty decent neutral animations. I like them a lot. Next up, for low stance, we have Nordic Combat Battle Axe. So let's take a look at these. These are a little bit slower, I think. Just a little bit slower. But no less deadly, and let's see. Yeah, I mean, these are great. These ones I took from Arisen, from the combat folder, which I should really get into that just a little bit here. I will get into that. Let me show it off. So basically, what I've been referring to this entire time is this, which I have backed up. Let's go to DAR, and then these are the combat animations from Arisen that I kind of tried to recreate myself with varying success. So as you can see here, this is a very organized folder full of all kinds of animations, and when you actually look up one of these, it'll tell you what animation it's using. So for Greatsword, this one is using Uncreative Pontiff Zealot Knight. And the great thing about this folder is that it's actually using a lot of Sky SA mods that have been converted to MCO. So there's so many in here that I could just take from, like, say, Quarterstaff or Pike or whatever. Actually, further in the list, we'll get to Quarterstaves, but this is actually where I got the Quarterstaff animations from. This big little folder here, which is a merge that Aljo did when working on Arisen. So this has been extremely helpful in building my giant Excel document filled with animations, basically. So let's get back. This is already going to be a very large video, but let's continue onwards. So the last animation we have for mid stance is Anchor Battle Axe. So with Anchor, we already know this is probably going to be very flashy. Let's see. Is it flashy? It is. Wow, that's beautiful. Oh my God, look at this. I mean, this is pretty wonderful. It's a little slow. It's very heavy battle axe, I'd say. Like, It feels, I mean, yeah, this is, oh god, it's so beautiful. I love Anchor so much. These animations are just fantastic, you know, like this, yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, there's no other word for it. I'm very happy to have these in my game, basically. Moving on, we have Warhammer. So for Warhammer, this is actually the last of the vanilla weapons, according to my spreadsheet. Let's do Ebony Warhammer. Warhammer, okay. So let's select this, and let's go back to our neutral stance. So starting off with Warhammer, we're actually using Anchor animations. Now, the idle stance is not from Anchor. I actually disabled it because of the way it was, the grip was a little bit off. I'll admit that the grip is a little off here as well, because of the grip, because of the weapon. I think the weapon size has been changed a little bit, which kind of throws off the grip, but that's kind of negligible. It's not really important. So these are the neutral animations from Anchor, and as you can see, they are very flashy, very powerful, but they're at the same time, they're also kind of slow, which is a good thing, because Warhammers are the most powerful weapon. They're the most powerful, though because they're slow, and therefore they should be, the moveset should not be very fast. It should be slow. Let's see some of the sprinting attacks. Yeah, I mean, these are great. So let's do low stance Warhammer. I have ER Warhammer by Black. So again, these were taken directly from Patreon. So these are Patreon only, or rather, I mean, I don't think they're Patreon only. I think some of them were on Patreon, and then some were ported to the Nexus. It's kind of hard to, I mean, some of the, it's, he has a Patreon, so there's some on there, and then there's some on the Nexus. It's like kind of, it's complicated, but yeah, so these are the animations, and yep, they're just as slow as the other ones, not as flashy, but there you go. Okay, so finally we have finished with pretty much all, what the hell, oh, pretty much all of our vanilla movesets. So we're going to move on to Unarmed now. So Unarmed is something that I actually have all four stances: neutral, low, mid, and high. And starting off, we have Unarmed, normal, and power for MCO. So these are pretty flashy. They're pretty, they're actually pretty slow compared to the other ones that I have installed. And these are what I'm using for neutral. These are not animations that NPCs have, only the player. I actually do have separate animations for Unarmed that NPCs are using, but these are not them. So this is neutral stance. Let us show off low stance, which is MCO Beowulf, which is a Patreon-only mod. As you can see, these are a bit faster, a bit flashier. Trying to... I mean, look at that. That is fucking insane. I mean... Look at that kick. That kick is wild. So these are obviously pretty, yeah, they're pretty flashy. Probably really powerful against a single enemy. For mid stance, we have Judge Eyes Crane. So let's switch to that. These are also wild. I mean, look at some of these animations. I mean, they're just insane. Just completely maddeningly insane. Like, just, yeah. So those are Judge Eyes Crane. Finally, we have Anchor Fist. Now, this is where things get a little bit wild, as tends to happen with Anchor animations. You don't see anything weird so far, but that's because I haven't... Yep, there we go. So, there's, yeah, that. This is a completely insane moveset. Completely wild, just... I have no words for this. I don't even know what that is. What is this? I mean, I don't understand. Yeah. So, this one is probably very overpowered. I'm assuming it's very overpowered. So, yeah, probably not going to use it in most cases, but I like to have it there just in case. So, with this, we're actually finished with everything vanilla. So, we've moved through sword, sword and sword, sword and dagger, sword and shield, dagger, war axe, dual war axe, mace, mace and shield, greatsword, war axe, warhammer, and unarmed. That is everything vanilla. Everything from this point onwards is going to be mod. So I'm actually going to end this video, and then I'm going to create another one. Let's see. Okay, we're back. So everything from this point onwards is going to be modded. So let's start out with spear plus shield. So to do that, we need a spear from Skyrim Spear Mechanic, I do believe. And we're going to stick with ebony here. So let's get a spear and let's get a javelin, just because. So the first one to show off is For Honor in Skyrim Valkyrie, which is spear and shield. So I'm going to be equipping a spear and a shield here, and we're going to go into neutral stance. And this is what it looks like. It is a pretty interesting yeah, it's a pretty interesting spear and I mean, I never would have considered like adding like these two weapons together to produce a result, and I do like the jabbing. The jabbing aspect of it is real nice. I love that. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. Skyrim is strangely bereft of spears in the vanilla game. I don't really understand that personally, because spears are like so intrinsic to like ancient societies that the lack of them is just kind of surprises and bewilders me a little bit. But yeah, so that was For Honor in Skyrim Valkyrie. Unfortunately, we actually don't have any more we don't have low, mid, or high stance, just the neutral stances. So the next thing I'm going to be showing is Spear plus Spear, which is Elvior ADXP MCO Dual Wield Spears moveset. So this is another stabbing animation from the same person who did sprinting attacks, actually. And as you can see, there's a lot of stabbing going on here. I do like that, though. Let's see. The, yep, these are... So this looks pretty powerful against an enemy. I imagine it would be very effective. And that's it. That's it for Spear and Spear. We don't have any low, mid, or high stances for that. And finally, we have Javelin plus Shield, and we only have a neutral stance for that, as unfortunately. A lot of these are... I've yet to find like a lot of like move sets for these. So this one is also pretty unique. It has a charging animation, much like everything else. and this is what it looks like. It's very similar to the other one, except obviously it's got its own, like, javelins are a little bit shorter than spears, so it's accounting for that as well. And that's it. So that was Skyrim Spear Mechanic. Now we can move on to Animated Armory, which we actually have a lot of those for Animated Armory, a lot of animations. We will start off with pikes. Now, I am going to actually use a Elden Ring pike because I like these a lot. I'm going to summon in Partisan, which is one of my favorite spears, actually. So this is a spear. We're going to start off with neutral stance, and we have to start off with ER spear basic animation. So this is probably my bread and butter for spears. I like the stabbing. It's very, I mean, it's very quick. It's very powerful, and the power attack is like very powerful. That kind of charge is very good for breaking someone's shields and getting through their defenses, and the power attacks for that are, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. So this is the neutral stance for spears. Coming up next, we have For Honor Nobashi Spear on low stance. So this is something that I was using by default on my previous Ascensio build. It is a spear moveset. It's not my favorite anymore after I discovered ER basic spear. This one has grown into my second favorite because of how consistent it is while being relatively it's not overpowered, basically. It's yeah. So next up we have mid stance. We have Wolong Spear, which is I believe this one is Patreon only. Now this one is really fucking wild. As you can see, it is if you take a look at this, I mean, this moveset. Look at that. Look at that attack. I mean, look at this. Look at that. I mean, I'm literally like dancing through the fucking air. I mean, it is super powerful. It has D-Try key utils for every conceivable direction, and it is super powerful as a result. Finally, for spears, we have, or rather, I have it sort of as pikes, but really it's spear and pike. I have Neo Spear, which I actually don't remember where I got this moveset. I think I got it on the Nexus, but I'm not 100% sure about that. This one is another very flashy moveset. It is like that one, like the last one in how flashy it is. So this is, yeah, sprint spear attacks. Everything is very fast. Yeah. So, yeah, that was spears, which is by far my favorite weapon in the game. Spears are my favorite weapon because of the animations. But the runner-up for my favorite is actually halberds. So we do have to go back to Animated Armory here. I'm going to be spawning in an ebony halberd for this demonstration. So here it is. Let's go into neutral stance so I can show off the first animation, which is For Honor in Skyrim Lawbringer. Now this is a very slow and very balanced moveset, I'd say. It has a pretty decent charge attack, just like all the others from the For Honor series. And this attack right here, this forward power attack, is very good for breaking through enemy shields and basically just taking them out really quickly if I'm struggling to do that, basically. So moving on from here, we have E Skyrim Spear Loop on the low stance. This is a animation that I love a lot. I've taken this directly from the Arisen moveset pack here, and it is as you can see pretty flashy, though it's also, I mean, yeah, it's got pretty good yeah. So this is it. Yeah, that's E Skyrim Spear Loop. For mid stance, we have Ludwig's Legacy, which is I kind of gutted this a little bit and took it for my own purposes. A lot of these movesets actually came with a lot of stuff that I didn't really need, so I kind of just tore out the folders that I didn't need, deleted ESPs, deleted other folders and other conditions, and just like basically commandeered some of these movesets for my own purposes. Yeah. So that was Ludwig's Legacy. And finally, for high stance, we have 7 Spears, which is a relatively new, this one's relatively new on the Nexus. I saw it crop up a few, like maybe a week ago, I think. And it's pretty slow compared to the other ones I have. It's technically for Spear, but I commandeered it for the sake of halberds because I feel like it kind of works a little bit. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm still unconvinced. I mean, it's pretty flashy. It kind of works because the halberd has a thing at the end where you could stab with it. So I mean, it kind of works, but I only put it to halberd because I was completely out of spaces with pikes. So moving on to quarterstaves, let's do ebony quarterstaff right here. Okay, for quarterstaves, we actually have only about 2 animations. We have Soul Calibur 6 quarterstaff moveset, which was actually recently ported over to MCO from Sky SA. This was a Sky SA exclusive moveset, which has a pretty wild, as you can see, it's pretty wild. Look at this. I mean, this look at that. That's such a weird attack, but I kind of love it. Let's see, do I have... Okay, that's the same as... Alright, so now let's move on to quarterstaff moveset for low stance. This is something that I actually stole from that Arisen... This is going to be like a theme for me where you'll see animations that I've stolen from other, like, from that main zip that I showed off. I have no shame, basically, but I love this. This is a really great quarterstaff moveset. So unfortunately, I don't have any more. So we have to move on to rapiers. So we're getting into single-handed weapons now. So this is the rapier. I'm actually gonna unequip the shield here so I can show it off. Let's do neutral stance here. So the neutral stance rapier is ER rapier. So this is a pretty standard moveset. It has a scar as well, so enemies will have this moveset. Is there like a charge? I thought there was a charge attack or something. Maybe I'm getting these mixed up here, but this is the first one for rapiers. The second one we have for low stance is rapier E Skyrim. So these are a little bit flashier, I think. Or at least I find them to be a little bit flashier. Yeah, there's the kind of charge attack. They're a little bit, it's all personal preference at the end of the day, but like, I wanted them them both because I'm a greedy man. So moving on, we have claws. Now claws is a hot topic in Animated Armory. A lot of people like them. A lot of people don't like them. I personally like them. If whips had a moveset, I would totally give them one. In fact, I'm not above finding them a moveset. But these are extremely flashy for the claws. That's why I chose to that's why I chose to keep claws in my game, because they have such a really cool moveset. I believe, I can't remember who it was that designed these. I am not 100% sure, so I'm not going to say it because I don't want to piss anyone off. But these are called Claws, Normal, and Power for MCO. Okay, so that's it for claws. Finally, we have katanas. So katanas are where is it actually? Oh, here it is. So I'm gonna equip the katana and unequip the claw, so there's no weird shit going on, and go into our neutral stance. So for neutral stance, we have ER katana, which is, you've probably seen this one a lot. This one is fairly recognized. It's probably the most used claw moveset. So that was 1, 2, 3, and then there's 1, 2, 3 power attack. But yeah, so that was that's neutral stance. For low stance, we have a Patreon only mod called Mofu Katana. These are a bit more wild, I will admit. They have like, I'm not really sure how I feel about these. I mean, I like them a little bit. They're a little wild though. A little, yeah. But let's see. Whoa, what the fuck was that? I don't know what just happened. I think I'm missing a lot of these movesets require Elden Rim, and I just haven't gotten the chance to install it with all its like dependencies and all its fucking it's gonna be a patching nightmare, I can already tell, so I just haven't really installed it yet. But yeah, so we're nearly done with this video. I promise you, we're nearly done. We only have a few left. Just a few, actually. So I'm going to be testing out the scythes next. So let's do Ebony Battle Scythe. We have a couple animations left for these. So this is a relatively recently added mod called Battle Scythes, or Battle Scythe, which is, it adds a bunch of different scythes to the game of varying power levels. So the first one I'm going to show is Mixed Scythe, which is a fan favorite. This one has a lot of different animations for the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it has, let me go back, wait. This one, yeah. Beautiful, just absolutely stunning. For this is neutral stance. So for low stance, let's do Scythe E Skyrim. So this one is a little bit, I'd call this one fluid. Like, it kind of just goes on and on and on and on and on. It's like kind of, I don't know how to describe it, like just, it's like, it's a little bit, it's not as fast, but it's like, it's definitely, it's beautiful in its own way. I honestly, I could not choose between the two, because I like Mixed Scythe so much, and then I like this one a lot as well. So I opted to just keep them both with stances. So next we have Twin Blades. Twin Blades are another, oh, we have Elden Ring Twin Blades. Nice. Let's do the two-handed Godskin Peeler there from Arisen. Godskin Peeler, here we go. And we only have neutral stances for this one, although I imagine I could probably port some quarterstaff animations over and have them work. So let's see. Yeah, there's that one, then there's that, which is really nice, and then 1, 2, and then we have that crazy attack, and then we have just a power attack, and then power attack again. So these are pretty wonderful for Twin Blades, and we're almost done. We have Curved Greatswords left, which is a this is a free mod on Patreon, though I will admit that the moveset is not free. The moveset is paid, but the weapons are free to download. These only have one stance, neutral stance. They are like, I think these are from Elden Ring specifically. I think these are actually just literally Elden Ring weapons and movesets. So, you might recognize these if you play Elden Ring. Wow, that was like really powerful there. Yeah, I mean, these are pretty wonderful though. So finally, we have something a little bit special. Let's do Millennia, Elden Ring Millennia. So we have a couple stuff here. Let me just turn off the armor for a second there. This one would look a little bit weird if I wasn't dressed as Millennia, so you'll have to bear with me. I don't want to show nudity on YouTube though, so I'm not going to. But let me show you this moveset. So this is the Waterfall Dance. Obviously, there's a bunch of others with this. I believe this one's available on Nexus to download, and the outfit is on Patreon, but it's free. So you can have the outfit and you can have the weapon for free, but yeah, so this is pretty flashy. I have a couple others. I have I'll show them here actually. I'll show them now. I have the Abyssal, wait, what is it called? Shinobi, no, it's not that. It's Shadowy Sword. Oh god, it's not going to let me summon it. I think I have to go into here and find it. Bear with me here. Where is it? Oh boy. I actually think it's up here. Yeah, here it is. ShadowySword.esp. Let me just spawn one of these into the game here. This is a unique weapon with a unique moveset, specifically for this sword. And as you can see, it's very flashy and it's very powerful. It has its own dodging animations, and it works with D-tries key utils. As you can see, it's I mean, look at this. This is insane, right? I have a few more that I can show. I have the I've showed these on my channel before, but I have the Kingsglaive movesets, which are very flashy, very powerful. These aren't the type of things that will. These will utterly destroy enemies. These are just gonna absolutely wreck everything that you have in front of you, and there's no in between. These movesets will just fucking annihilate anything you have. So use with extreme caution, and definitely they are not lore friendly one bit. So I mean, there's obviously more. I mean, that is, what the fuck? I don't even know what to say to that. I mean, what? How do you even describe that? I mean, these aren't on my spreadsheet because of how crazy they are, but they are in the equipment mixed folder here. So, like, I should probably add them because they technically fit, but yeah, so that's been the video. I've been show. This is the entire. I'm happy to say that this testing was a bona fide success. All the animations work, so this was a complete success. But I wanted to show off everything that I have in game as of right now, as of February of 2024. So thanks for watching.